Welcome to Michigan Reimagined, presented by T.A. Forsberg and Wagoner Financial. And here's your host, Chris Buck.
We are on the cusp of the newest seasons of the award-winning Capital City Film Festival. Here to share this year's details, as we know them at this time anyway, are the festival director, Emma Selby, co-program director, Jason Gabriel, and board of directors member and secretary, Samantha Lee. Welcome, team. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having us, Chris.
Excellent. So for those uninitiated, remind us how long your organization's been putting on the Capital City Film Festival.
So I think this is going to be, I believe, the 12th Capital City Film Festival, minus, a couple of weird COVID years. But yes,
Right.
We've been in over a decade, I would say.
Fantastic. And I say your organization, so how are you organized, and who's kind of the creative and logistic team that kind of pulls this off? Clearly you're part of that, but talk a little bit about your organization as a whole.
Yeah, totally. We are about 90% volunteer run. It started basically with just a group of friends who wanted to do something cool in Lansing and bring the Art Spring film to our city that we love so much. So we have a planning committee full of teams that work on the different areas of the festival, everything from the front of house and merch sales to the volunteers, organizing our volunteers, making sure they are prepared with everything they need. And then we have our creative and communications team. We have a team that's dedicated to the vibes of the festival, making sure that it's a good experience for everyone. And then we've got our tech production teams, our film programming teams, our music programming team. I think I'm missing one in there, but we have so many teams working on so many things.
We have so many teams, but not that many people. So
Yes.
we run on a small crew, but
Very
everyone
true.
wears multiple hats.
Yes, we try to differentiate with the different teams, but most people, I think, are a part of at least 3-ish teams, I would say, typically. So small team, small but mighty team, and we couldn't do it without all of the volunteers we have who help pull it off every year.
Right on. Yeah, go ahead.
The volunteers, I do believe, are the heart of the festival, right? That brings the experience to the front, right? Everyone who comes to the door is greeted by scores of volunteers who are assessing tickets, getting you into your seats, right? Concessions. These are the people that select the films in many cases. So volunteers, and we are, like they were saying, volunteer-led and run. And like I said, that is also the core of things, really, very much.
Right on. And is there a lot of continuity between year after year? I mean, is there a core group that is steeped in the
Definitely.
CCFF, and then you pick up, I mean, the volunteers probably, you have some steady
Yeah.
folks and you get some new people every year, but how does that transition year to year?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a core team that we just love this experience, so we continue to come back. But what's really fun is not only our staff that we see come back year after year, but every festival year, I've been a part of the festival. This will be my 3rd year, and many people, many more years, but the same group of volunteers that love and support the festival will come back. So you might not see them in your circle or your arena on your day-to-day life all year round, but when it comes to festival season, you see those groups of people and you're able to catch up on, see how their year is gone and catch up.
Fantastic. Well, we're recording this in early March of 2024. When is the festival this year? What are the dates?
This year, our festival is April 10th through 20th, 2024. So we have 11 days of film, of art, of music. It's going to be a blast.
I mean, it's a big slab of culture we're dropping right in downtown.
Right.
And we do this every year. 13th, 14th, 15th, whatever.
It's been a lot of years, there's no question. And so Lansing, and I learned in my first interview with this cohort a couple years ago, Lansing is one of the capital cities that does not have a downtown theater. So as such, you don't have a traditional hub to show your product. So, historically, walk us through what you've done to adapt to that process, and what is this year going to kind of look like physically?
Yeah, one of the things we love about our festival is that we get to take untraditional spaces and turn them into really high quality film viewing experiences for all of our attendees. This year, we're really excited about our venues in downtown. We are going to be at the Ari Olds Transportation Museum.
Really?
which
Okay.
we're pumped about.
Very cool.
They're
Yeah.
sliding some cars to the sides, and we're plopping a theater right in the middle. So it's going to be a blast to watch a bunch of movies surrounded by all of these old cars, all of this old Lansing history. And then we're also going to be at the Central United Methodist Church downtown, right across from the Capitol, which is widely believed to be the first indie cinema, indie theater in the area. And so they have this really beautiful stage and setup. If you haven't been in that building, come to the festival just to poke around that building. It's incredible. There's so many things in there. We're only using a tiny portion of it, but I encourage you, anytime you want to tour that place, email Pastor Rich, and he would love to give you a tour and talk about the history because it's such a fascinating building.
How about it? Never been myself.
It's amazing. And when we went for the tour, it was my first time in there. There were pockets all over the building that were feeling like they were rediscovered, newly. The fellowship hall that we're in, we were told in 1923 was the original or one of the first theaters in Lansing, right? To your point about not having a traditional theater, this was a non-traditional theater space. The projection room is still there. The mezzanine, we're still going to be loving and projecting from this year.
Right on. So, as if a listener out there is not experienced in what a film festival really operates like, it would be easy to kind of get daunted. It's like, okay, it's 10 days long. There's some stuff at this place. There's some stuff at that place. How do I wrap my brain around like participating? Where do I go to learn more? Where do I show up? Where do I get tickets? Like what do I need to commit to and how do I learn more?
Right. You can go to our website. So the short code is ccff.co. So .co.
Yep.
And that's going to have our schedule when it's released. You'll be able to buy our passes on there. So you can pay for a season holder pass that will get you access to all of our events, and then updates from the festival as well, with opportunities to volunteer, participate, be a sponsor of the festival. And so all of that information is held on there.
Got it. CCFF, Capital City Film Festival.co.
Yes.
All right.
And if people, I know when I first was hearing about the festival, as somebody who grew up in the Lansing area, who has always loved the arts and loved film in Lansing, I was one of those people who was super intimidated and didn't know how to attend. And so it's really fun now being a part of the team and getting to figure out how to tell people about it, because I have been in that seat before. So if you've never come before, like Sam said, you can buy a pass for the entire event. And so you can, it's a $50 pass. It gets you into everything we do. If that feels like a lot to commit to because you haven't experienced anything with us before, all of our individual film screenings you can buy tickets for at the door. So it's typically $5. So if you just want to come watch a feature-length film, or you want to come watch a block of shorts, which I encourage you to come watch a block of short films, I think that's a really good way to get to know the festival. And we group them based on vibes, basically. So based on genre, but some of them are kind of more how you feel watching them. So it's a really fun experience. You get to see a ton of different art. All of those are just $5 at the door. Or if you really want to jump into things, you can volunteer. And if you volunteer just at one shift, you get a pass to attend the whole thing for free. So it's a pretty good deal.
Right. And even our $5 films, we want to make it really accessible for everyone in our community.
Right.
That's really why we throw this event, is to bring our community together and to service them. So we're on the bus line. We want to make sure that our films are accessible. Going to a movie theater can be quite expensive nowadays.
Yep.
So they can experience that all of those short films and featured films together can be a family event.
And our concessions are a lot cheaper than than going to the theater too.
So how are the films selected, and are they films that are otherwise not really accessible to the general public? I mean, you're not going to go there and see Star Wars or E.T., right? I mean, these are all...
Every now and then we'll do throwbacks,
Okay.
but for the most part, these are movies that have been produced in the last 2 years.
Okay.
And they're looking to find their audience. And that's how we get involved, right? And the film festival is kind of a crucial part of the ecosystem where we're helping to select the things that get wider and mainstream release. And so you'll see that you mentioned how this is a award season, right? And we typically get films that are maybe Spirit Awards, independently made films, and they are all hungry filmmakers, and they all want to get lifted up to the next level. And we're part of that. And to be honest, the Capital City Film Festival was also created in part to show local producers in Lansing that there is an upper tier of video production that they should and can be striving for.
Right. Okay. So then, so that's kind of what is done. How is it done? Who picks the film? I mean, do you have more films than you could possibly show?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
I think there's somewhere between 500 and 700 films that we looked at this year, right, in a variety of categories. And we have a selection committee of Lansing, right, the Lansing and the regional community. And these 50 selection members watch these films and they vote. Right. And we raise up the ones, right, collectively with these scores to be the ones that we pick as a community for our community.
Yes, and we have submissions from all over the world. So in the history of the film festival, I think we've had submissions from over 72 countries.
Wow.
So it is an international film festival, and it's really interesting to see all walks of life from all over the world.
And I mentioned in my intro award-winning. I think it was last year's episode I discovered that you guys had won an award that you didn't apply for. It just kind of got selected. So talk about, kind of how does that work and what does that mean to you? And I don't know, it's not really even why it's important, but it just seems like such a great honor for Lansing's Film Festival to be selected.
Yeah, we are always really excited because, like Jason was saying, our goal is to be for our community, and our goal is to uplift our community through the films we show, through the events that we throw. So anytime, like when we were placed on that 25 top coolest festivals of the world list, it's so exciting to see that people love what we're doing as much as we do. Because like Samantha was saying earlier, the group of people who work on this festival, the planning committee, all the volunteers, are so dedicated. They spend so much of their time putting on this very cool, very unique event in Lansing because of how much love they have for it. Nobody's in this. We're not in it for the money or for the fame or the accolades or anything like that. We just do it because we love it so much, and we love our community. We love art. We want to pull it all together. So anytime we get recognition like that, it's so incredible. We work also with the team over at Traction. They are one of our founding sponsors. They've done our branding the entire time the festival has existed, and they've always done such a fabulous job. And this year at the Addies, they won an award for last year's festival branding concept integrated marketing campaign. So they were awarded a gold Addie for our work in transforming the Sears building and marketing the fest last year. So it's really exciting to see professionals in our field who also are excited to acknowledge the work that we're doing and support the work we're doing.
That's fantastic. Now, we've talked a lot about volunteers and the troupe that you all kind of comprise that put this all together. You mentioned Traction. Mm-hmm. It must take other partners to help you get where you want to get to. Yeah. Who else do you kind of need to collaborate with to pull this thing off?
Well, we are closely knit with the Lansing Public Media Center and the City of Lansing.
Okay.
Do we call them founding sponsors? Is that
we do?
That they are?
Yeah. I think LCC might be in that.
And LCC too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The permit holders.
Exactly.
Yes, but above being volunteer run and these partners that that help us put on the festival, like we said, we're 90% volunteered run. So majority of people are not paid, but to run the festival, we do have fantastic community sponsorships as well that support the festival and believe and share our mission of curating these excellent multimedia events. So independent film, music, live music, art. We've had comedy in the past, and bringing it to Lansing. So we're always looking for new community partners as well, because we could not put on this festival year after year and be sustainable without our community partners.
Right. So, you talk about, the film festival, obviously, first and foremost, is film viewing. But you mentioned, music, and I've been to a couple of the kind of the parties and the events and stuff. So talk a little bit about the other things that do peripherally, go along with this.
Yeah, we always kick off the festival with our red carpet premiere party, which is a blast every year. It's such a fun time. We love to give our people an excuse to walk a red carpet, have their photo taken by a professional photographer, really feel like they have the paparazzi in their face in that moment, because it's a fun time to experience that.
And they all dress up.
And everybody dresses up.
It's amazing. Like, it's great to see Lansing in its finest.
Right. It's super fun because you have everything from people who are popping by after work to people who are getting full glam and coming over to people in their jeans and the t-shirt because it's their nicest t-shirt. And we love that. We love everybody coming and what they want to come in. And so this this year, our red carpet premiere party is going to be at Ari Olds, which we're really excited about to throw a party in that space. It's going to be a super fun time. If you've never been there, it's a gem in Lansing, so make sure you come check it out. If you have been there, come, because we're going to transform it and it's going to be like you've never seen before. So we have our red carpet premiere party. We have our after party that closes out the festival. This year, that's going to be at the Fledge. We're throwing a rager. It's going to be a blast. Come party with us.
Fledge, good call.
We love the Fledge. Jerry has been such a wonderful partner for us for many years now. So we love working with them. We're also showing some films over there again this year, which we love doing with Jerry. And then we have some really fun music stuff planned for this year. And one I specifically want to mention is our Symphonic Cinema event. This event has taken a few different forms over the year, but this year is the biggest evolution of it that we're really excited about. So traditionally, it has been a silent film that we've paired with live scoring.
Okay.
This year, it's going to be different, and it's actually going to be a hip-hop score from James Garden and Tim Blackman are working together on that, and it's going to be a really fun time. You're going to come see the movie Fresh, which is a great movie.
Okay.
And having Fresh with live soundtracking and rapping and scoring is going to be a super fun time.
I actually love that this film was chosen. This is like from the 90s, like kind of an older Sam Jack movie, and just kind of awesome picks to bring things back to the heart.
Right.
And so it's just really, it was well chosen, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun time. And then we also have programmatic partnerships. So going back to the idea of how many partners we need to pull this off, one of the things we love doing is connecting with people who are already doing such important work and showcasing it throughout our festival. So we're partnering with the Michigan State University Women of Color Initiative to bring in a couple of filmmakers to discuss their films, watch them, do some talkbacks and workshops with those artists, which is going to be really great. We're partnered with LCC Take a Stand, and we're showing a film related to all of the work that they're doing for social justice stuff. And so we have all of these really great partnerships with other groups in our community who we adore, and we love the work they're doing, and we're excited to be a part of it.
Yes, we really strive to raise and elevate those voices of potentially disparaged populations that might not have their voices highlighted as much as they need to. So we really pride ourselves in doing that.
Now, is that easy to find on the website to know when that scoring hip hop movie like that, that'll kind of, when you look and you see all the things you can do, all those little featurings and in conjunction with and all that stuff, because you might choose to use that as your guide as to where you want to be and when you want to be there.
Definitely. Yep. It'll all be on our website. You can also keep a close eye on our social media. We're announcing a lot of the events and a lot of the films over there. So on our Facebook, on our Instagram, we're pretty active over there announcing everything that's going on. So if you see something that catches your eye, save the post so that you can look at it for it in our schedule once we put that out.
Fantastic.
Oh, I was just going to say that there's so many choices for films, right? There's even 4 tracks going on. Some of the times there's actually 4 venues that are active. So there are choices to be made when you hit that schedule.
Got
right?
it. Okay.
It is about the individual, right? And the types of films that you want to watch. There are films for you there.
Got it. So we have the Fledge, we have the Ari Olds, you have the church. I forget what the name of the church is.
Central United Methodist Church.
Got it. Okay. And where's the 4th?
We are at the Robin Theater for a bit. We're working with Dylan Rogers over there to do some programming. So specifically, we're going to have a talkback workshop with the Women of Color Initiative over there. And we're also going to have a panel about sync licensing and music and film. So what does it look like to try to get placement for music in television and in film?
Right on. What have I missed? I think you nailed it.
I mean, this is a rich subject. There's a lot to talk about. Not
really
just the 100-some films we're going to show,
right?
But there's also like 25 Michigan films in this set, right? Including Camp Brickstar, which is our opening night film, right? This is a film that strongly connects with MSU, right? And just passionate subjects around the bends, and it's really fun to see.
Yes, and Jason, can you share with them a little bit more information about our Fortnite Film Festival? contest.
This is what we tell people to get real, because there is moneyed prizes involved in this, and this is the best way for a aspiring filmmaker or an active filmmaker to make a project, especially if you've been procrastinating, right? I haven't made a thing for a couple years. This is the reason. Right between March 14th and 28th, you have 2 weeks 14 days to make a less than 10-minute film. That cost to enter this is $100. You get 2 festival passes for that. It's supposed to be a wash and a chance for you to strike greatness on the screen, land on our big screens, and then every person that succeeds with that, we want them to radiate Lansing outward by submitting their film across the globe. And it works every year because we make great things here.
Right on. Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure. We've been talking with Festival Director Emma Selby, Co-Program Director Jason Gabriel, and the Board of Director and Secretary Samantha Lee about this year's installment of the Capital City Film Festival. Congratulations. Can't wait. Thanks for joining me. Good times.
Thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank you.
us.
Look forward to seeing you there.